Okay, okay. All right, students, today I'm going to do some modeled writing for you. So I'm going to kind of speak out loud while I write, and you guys are going to observe me as I do this. So the purpose of what we're writing today is we're going to be doing what's called a procedural text. So I'm going to be writing out a recipe for peanut butter cookies. So when we write a procedural text, we want to choose the correct text type. So we're going to start with a centered title, and then we're going to follow kind of a margin down the side here, and we're going to start by writing our list of ingredients, okay? So that's what's going to be on there. We'll also have directions on how to bake the cookies, and yeah, so basically that's what we're going to do. So we're going to start, so we have to remember that all text in the English language goes from left on this side to the right side. And we always start in our top left corner and move down and right, from left to right. We're going to start with the title. So when we write a title, in this case peanut butter cookies, we're going to ensure that we center it on the page and start with a capital letter, and then the other word will also be a capital letter, okay? So that's where we'll start. So big capital P, E, A, N, U, T, B, U, T, 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 R, two fingers space, K, then there was a capital C there with our space, I, E, S. And so another thing we can do with the title is we can underline it just to make it more prominent on our page. Just like that. So now, when the reader looks at our page, they'll start in the top left, and they'll look at the center, and they will see the peanut butter cookies. So it really lets our reader know exactly what's going to happen when they first look at our page. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start writing. So one thing that we want to do is try to write as straight as possible. I don't have lines on my page, so I'm just trying my best, and that's about what we can do. And so I'm going to use this center point as what my margin will be. The margin is just, we don't start writing right on the very edge of our page. We leave space for if it's being marked or if we want to write notes. Okay. So we're going to start with our first ingredient. We're going to use a line to indicate that it's kind of list form. All right. We'll start on the left side, and it calls for 1.5 cups. So in order to show that, we'll put a 1, and then a 1 over a 2. So this 1 over 2 indicates a half, okay? Like in math class, that would be 50%. 1 divided by 2 equals 0.5. So that's how we show that, and then we write cup. But we're going to add an S, because it is plural, like it's more than just 1 cup, so it's 1.5 cups, plural. 2 spaces of 2 spaces flour. And this is the flour for ground up wheat, not like a flour you would see at like a flour shop or something to that effect. Okay, so our next ingredient is 1/2 cup of butter. So we're going to try to stay in line here. We're going to go down about a finger space or so. We're going to do that 1 over 2 again to signify a half. We're going to do 2 finger space. 2 finger space. 2 finger space of butter. Now, you will notice that we didn't put an S after cup this time because it's just singular. So it's just 1/2 cup, not cups. Okay? So our next ingredient is 1 cup of butter. Peanut butter, sorry. So we'll do another line. Go down about a space. 1 2-finger space. Cup of cut butter. Excellent. So once again, it's nice and straight. We have fairly even spacing between everything, and we're going from left to right. And it was just singular this time because it was just a single cup. Then we will have a 1/2 cup of brown sugar. So we'll do the same thing. 1/2 cup. 2-finger space. 2-finger space. Sugar. So I'm trying to keep that nice. Fix that G. Sugar. So everything is spelled correctly. Oh, I've noticed that I've kind of gone uphill a little bit. So I'm going to correct that on my next line. I'm going to try to go nice and straight. It's okay. It's still readable. So for our next one, this one's kind of exciting. So this time we have what's called an abbreviation. So sometimes we use abbreviations so to make our writing so we don't have to write as much, I guess would be the best way. So instead of having to write out the whole word teaspoon, instead in recipes they'll say TSP, which stands for teaspoon. Tablespoon would be TBSP, tablespoon. So it just makes it easier to read for the writer as you're kind of cooking and doing stuff. So you will see that 1 TSP, 2-finger space, of vanilla extract of Mil to L's extract. And extract means it's not like a pure vanilla, it's just something that's like similar to it. And then we have 1 egg. And 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda. So 3/4 is showing us 3/4 teaspoon TSP of baking soda. Excellent. So now we have our list of instructions of what we're going to put in. So next, our ingredient list. We're going to move on to our directions. So how we're actually going to make it. So we'll put directions centered, about like that. And we're going to underline it again. We did a capital at the beginning. Yeah, so, and if we're looking, see, at the function of what a letter is and does, is that's how we create our words, D-I-R-C-T, direct. And then to make it a full word, like direct, shuns. Shuns means it gives us the direction of what we're actually going to do. Yeah, so now we'll write out our directions. So for directions, now we're going to number our steps so we can follow their order. So our first step is 1, period, and then 2-finger space, preheat, 11 to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So we use this little circle to signify degrees, and we use an F to signify Fahrenheit. All right, so now we'll go on to our next step. 2, so we're going to sift our flour. and baking powder together, making sure we have our 2-finger space. Uh-oh, can't fit it all in one line, so we're just going to go down and we're going to stay in line with our letters, not our numbers, okay? Together. And then we're going to whisk. So we'll want to put an and, then whisk to combine. Excellent. So now our next step is to number 3, period. We're going to add our peanut butter to the mix. Now let's read that again. Add peanut butter mix. Whoops, I forgot to write 2. So we're just going to use a little caret here because we forgot our word. There we go. So now we got 2 mix. It's okay to make mistakes. Then we're going to 4 mix in your egg and vanilla. Yeah, we got our spacing all nice. Okay, and now we will do number 5. Roll our dough into 1-inch balls. So we'll write our 5 in line with the numbers. Roll, 2-finger space, out, dough, in 1. And then we're going to put 2 little lines here. That indicates an inch. That symbolizes an inch, so we don't have to write it. And balls with an S, because it's plural, because we're going to have more than one cookie. So we got to use that S. That S is so important in our language for forming words that are plural, especially. Okay, so now we'll go to our next sheet of paper. What number were we on? I kind of forgot. I think we were on 5. So now we're going to go to 6. We're going to start in our top left corner, same margin, about 2 or 3 inches in. We're going to flatten. Cookies with a fork. Fork. The in this case signifies just one. So you're just using a fork, 1 fork. 7 in line. Oh, we should be capitalizing at the start. So we'll just add a little on there. And we'll just fix that. Made a little mistake there. That's okay. Bake. Normally I would use an eraser. Bake cookies for about 10 minutes. Oh, just barely made it. 10 minutes. So about here, this word means it's just approximate. So not exactly. And then let cool. And then the most important step, then eat. Excellent. Thank you so much, students, for listening so quietly while I went through this. It's really best if we can all just listen and watch Mr. Solander's write on his board here. So that's how we write out a procedural text or a recipe. Thank you so much. Take care.